Hello everyone, I'm Surabhi. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm answering a question which many concerned parents have asked me that we are not teachers. Uh, how can we homeschool? We have no experience in early childhood education, even teaching kids. If you're trying to homeschool your kids who are like 10 years old or 11-year old, how can we teach them? We don't know the teaching, or we don't know the subjects and everything like that. And this has been asked in a very derogatory way also in some comments or face to face, that you are not a trained teacher, how can you teach anyone, you need don't have any degree or certification. So I have got this question in many ways, so I just thought I'll answer once for all. And why? Because I have stories behind it, and I love telling stories, real life stories of my life. So let's start with that. So back 2005, I was just a fresh graduate from my college. I am from NIT Hamirpur. I am electronics engineering graduate, and in 2005 everything was software. So everyone used to get placed in software companies, and be it electrical, mechanical, civil, everyone will become a software engineer, right? So in college, I did C++, Java certifications, and I was like, good. I was prepared for my professional life, professional career. So I got placed in Wipro Technologies, Bangalore, and when you join, they allot you to different projects. So yeah, I was assigned to an hardware project. Uh, Hardware money, we do not code in C++ or I mean, like, it was not embedded or any of those things which I had heard in college. I had to code in VHDL Verilog. I had to really work on the hardware. So my client was a Canadian telecom giant. So we had the project of maintaining their telephone exchanges throughout the world. It was like a huge project, and it's like $1 billion project. And the point was that I had no clue. I had not heard of these words even, because VHDL Verilog is not taught in North India. Why I say that? Because along with me there were four more freshers in that team, and they all were from South India, and they all knew VHDL Verilog. So I was a single soul in that whole, I think, 40-member team who was listening to the words VHDL Verilog first time in her life. And yes, that was it. And there's on project training, some external trainings Wipro provides for like 1 to 2 months. And I was clueless. I had no YouTube, no Coursera, no DB, nobody there to teach me like way, right? And it was, things were at stake. I was on a live project. I literally went to the bookstores and bought the VHDL Verilog coding, and asked help from my seniors, the freshers which like joined with me who knew about it, and learned from them, like starting from like how do you code, what is the compiler, what kind of bugs you get, what does this error message mean, and then learning the system. Just trying to tell you that things were hard, things were very hard, because what I was trained for, or what I had prepared for in all my college life, certification wise or learning wise, I was put into something I had no clue, and I was alone. And but we did it. There was no other option. There was no other option, and we did it. And I worked in that project for 6 years, and like, my best memories of professional life are from that time. My best friends are from that time. What I'm trying to tell you, that in real life, things do not happen कि आपने training करी और आपने उसको किया पूरी life. ऐसा नहीं होता. What you train for, you still have to keep changing. And now the things are much more like that, because my husband was put in software projects. He worked on C++. He was an embedded. He did all that all these years. And in 2017, I suppose, he said that he felt that he wants to move to AI ML, and he had no idea. So he himself enrolled into Coursera, Udemy, did certifications and projects, and then he changed his job and changed his domain to ML and AI. And now also he does so many courses. Now he works on the real AI projects, but he still has to keep himself updating with what new technology is coming, what new protocols are coming in AI, because AI is developing very fast now. And that's how the real life is. The technologies are changing, the new projects are coming, new inventions are coming, and you have to keep learning and learning. And but thankfully we have so many resources now, be it coding or real life or cooking or anything. We have YouTube, we have these certified course in Udemy for technical courses. Like, things are much easier now if you want to learn in that way, right? And that is what is real life is. So when it comes to homeschooling, I was someone who had no idea of homeschooling, who had even no idea of parenting. In older time, parenting was much easier because you were, surrounded by relatives, elder ones who will tell you कि ऐसा हो गया ये करो, ऐसा हो गया ये करो. I came here in this country all alone, like me and my husband, did not know anyone when my elder one was like 3 to 4 months old, and we did blunders. I mean, yeah, for my elder one, me and my husband were equally clueless. Like how do you parent a child? Emotional breakdowns or tantrums or feeding habits or potty training. I had no idea, and equally my husband also has no idea. But yeah, we learned again from books, from YouTube videos. As we learned about parenting, I learned about homeschooling too. What are the methodologies? How do you know how the kids learn? The way kids learn is very different from how we adults learn. And what is their brain development? What is their growth? What are the skills which need to develop in a child, age appropriate wise, what kind of activities they should be engaged in. Basically, again, I had to learn something which I had no clue about, but thankfully in 2014 we had enough YouTube and other resources, access to libraries, uh, and so many books on your disposal to learn from. So I learned everything on the way. And yes, I did blunders. As I did blunders in parenting, I have done blunders in homeschooling, and that's why I'm here, so that to tell people about my mistakes, so that you can do less blunders than me, because everyone does their share of blunders. But still, now we have a community to hold your hands if you fail, to ask questions, to ask help. I Here also in Singapore, I approached the veteran homeschoolers with my queries, my questions, because when I started, there was not much of YouTube kind of homeschooling community or Indian homeschooling community. So yeah, we learned on the way, asking help, crying, and reading, and just learning on the way. So if you feel that you cannot homeschool because you're not trained for it, so in that way, so I could not have worked in that project because I was not trained for it. But you learn, like you're before you became a parent, you had no parent training, but you learned when you're parenting your child. And each phase, like toddler phase to now kid phase to 8-year-old tantrum, 10-year-old ka kya tantrum hota hai, 13 teenage, we all are learning from our seniors, from our veterans, from the parents whose kids are like teenage. I listen to their stories, what kind of challenges they feel they face with their teenage kids, and how do you emotionally handle them. So we all are learning, right? Like in parenting, so why not in homeschooling? You can very well learn that also, but yes, it'll depend on your other life circumstances for sure. How much bandwidth you have, how much mental peace you have, and how much stamina, energy, and other commitments you have. So it's not that you cannot homeschool because you're not trained. You can get trained, you can learn on the way, but yes, you should have the bandwidth for it. You should have that energy for it and the support for it. So that's why I say homeschooling is not for everyone, not for every family, not for every mother. But just because you're not trained teacher or you don't have a certification, that should not be the reason that you don't homeschool. Okay, so but again, talking on the academic front, if you ask, now the subjects are so much and there are so many topics, how you teach this topic, that topic, again, I am learning on the way. uh, I am inclined towards science as a nature. I love science. Maths, I have some clue. English, history, geography. Arts, I have no idea. I don't know how I passed in my school, but yeah, I had this feeling from my school time that I had no interest in these subjects, and that is also one of my fears. When I started homeschooling, कि मुझे arts नहीं आती, history नहीं आती, geography नहीं आती, world history क्या, मुझे तो इंडिया की history नहीं आती, geography also मुझे नहीं पता, and I was very scared कि how will I teach my kids, and how will I do it? And I was very scared, and I was so scared actually that I never even picked a history. I bought books, but I never picked up a history or geography book to learn myself, to teach them. I learned Montessori maths, I learned English phonics to teach my kids, but history, geography, never. I mean, I was so petrified of these subjects. What is happening in the world? Like 1 month back, it was a discussion on the breakfast table, and during my professional life, I have traveled in North America. Okay, so I know that part of the world, which countries where. I have never traveled to Europe. My husband works for a European company all these years. So before COVID, whenever he used to travel to Germany, Austria, UK, Amsterdam, those parts. And I never bothered to see on the world map where he is or like how he's traveling. He's just like, yeah, he's on a office trip. Now, when this was happening, this discussion was happening about whatever happening in the world, on the breakfast table, my husband was trying to tell the kids, this country is here, this country is here. So now this is attacking this one. That is what is happening. Trust me, I was sitting like this along with my other two kids to understand कि पापा बोल क्या रहे हैं, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ आइडिया नहीं था कि वो कहाँ हो रहा है वर्ल्ड में, कहाँ है. And because I spend more time with my kids than my husband, kids asked so many questions to me about this happening in the world that finally मैंने सोच लिया कि भाई I can't be more scared of history and geography. I need to really pick up the things and start understanding myself. Ki what is happening, why it is happening, what are they talking, like NATO was in discussion and all previously, they were united, then the countries broke down. And I mean, just when this started and I told you whatever happened on the breakfast table and how ashamed I felt, like, oh my god, I don't know anything. I had this book like for 2 years now, this one. And it's a very good book, that's why I bought it. But again, I did not read it. I did not try to learn it because I was so scared. Trust me, I was so scared. It's very complicated, thinking of so much things were happening and how complicated these things are. And but I realized I don't have an option. My kids are grown up, they are asking very genuine questions, and I need to understand the things so that I can discuss with them. Teaching तो बात ही नहीं आई अभी. I can discuss with them that why this is happening when they are listening to news or when they are reading the newspaper or when my husband is telling something that this is happening. I can't sit like this. I need to discuss with them. And so what I did, I took a notebook and see, I'm making the notes for this book. That's how the real homeschool mom life is, that you learn on the way. And things are hard, things are very hard at times. For some subjects things are really hard for me, but yeah, we do it on the way. I told you geography, like, I mean, बहुत ही बुरा हाल है मेरा. And my girl asked me, what is the difference between cyclone and hurricane? US we always have hurricanes. India we have cyclones. And I never bothered to understand all my life. I'm in my late 30s. Never bothered to understand why do I have cyclone, why it is hurricane, what is difference or similarity, why do they happen, or what is tornado. I never bothered. I mean, I was never interested, or maybe I was very scared that the things seem so complicated. So what I did, we have a book, thankfully I have a book, and we took it out and it clearly tells what is hurricane, what is cyclone, what is tornado, and we read it together. And obviously my learning capacity or my, I'm better when I read a book too. So I could read it and then explain to my child and discuss with her that, why these three weather phenomena are different and what is similarity in them. And that day I got to know that, what is actually these hurricane, cyclone and tornado is. So again, I learned on the way while I'm homeschooling. I did not learn all the geography, all the history, all the maths before I started homeschooling. You just need your why, a very strong why to homeschool. And then once you decide, then you just go with the flow. The same with the job. Like I was placed into a job. I could not just fight with anyone ki why do you put me this project, I'll not do it. And you don't have that option. You cannot just quit the job and go back home. You learn what is required on the project, what is demanded on the project. You seek help, you take help from books, you do blunders and you do mistakes and you learn and you grow and then you do well. So that is real life, and this is also real life of a homeschool mom. And so let not anyone tell you that you are not trained and that's why you can't homeschool. If you want to, you can very well. Just make sure that you have that energy and that bandwidth to put effort, because homeschooling is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. So again, but homeschooling also you can do different ways. The way I do it, it's a lot of hard work, but I have faced so many challenges in my life. I have learned so many things on the way in my real life before I started homeschooling, that this doesn't scare me that much. But yeah, it is hard, and I do get tired at times, but it is not a reason that I will stop homeschooling my kids. So just it's a it's an inspiration. Maybe it's just a reminder to you that this should not stop you from homeschooling. But yeah, just think about it if you want to homeschool, but not let anyone tell you कि तुम्हारे पास डिग्री नहीं है इसलिए तुम टीच नहीं कर सकते. टीचिंग करने के लिए you need hard work, and you need the will to teach someone, and you need the will and the courage to learn new things on the job and still be happy and be strong about it and do it like कर हो जाएगा भाई, कर लेंगे. And then anyone can homeschool. So that's what I wanted to share today, and thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.